Assalamualaikum and a very good evening to everyone who is with us tonight watching through Zoom and Facebook Live for our Ansara Muda Career Talk Master Series. Very special thanks to our strategic partner, Unit Perkhidmatan Bimbingan dan Kaunseling MRSM Taiping, Center for Foundation Studies, University Teknologi Petronas, TNF Energy Sdn Bhd, Amans Media and Outpost Taiping for providing us this wonderful platform to share knowledge tonight. So before we move further, let's us recite di Ummul Kitab Al-Fatihah. Okay, before we move further, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Wan Daniel Ashraf from Ansara Taiping, SPM batch 2017. I will be your moderator for tonight. So for tonight, our topic for today is chemical engineering with our special guest, Puan Masriani Muhammad from Ansara Taiping, SPM batch 1998. She is now currently a technical professional in gas processing at Petronas Gas Berhad. We'd love your participation in this talk tonight. So for any questions, if through Zoom, you can just put through the chat box, and if through Facebook Live, through the comment section. So I think without further ado, I would like to invite Puan Masriani Muhammad to the screen and start her sharing. Thank you.
Okay, nampak tak?
Yes, nampak.
Okay, the slide nampak tak?
Nampak juga slide.
Okay. So nanti this talk ni kita akan buat Q&A separate ke ataupun they can just intervene in the between the presentation tu?
Up to your preference. Kalau nak buat at the end pun okay, in between pun okay. Saya boleh bacakan soalan nanti.
Okay, so I don't mind kalau ada question just stop me lah. Sebab saya tak nak tunggu belakang-belakang, takut nanti kita pun tak nak kena back pada slide tu kan. Okay.
Alright.
Okay, kita boleh start sekarang kot?
Yes, boleh.
Okay. So this career talk is about chemical engineering. So I'm Masriani Muhammad, technical professional in gas processing, Petronas Gas Berhad. Okay. So this is some background sikit lah. Okay, I dah explain my name. Okay, I'm 40 years old this year. Ansara Taiping batch 98 and currently I'm located at Terengganu. Okay, in terms of qualifications, sekejap Okay, so I had my bachelor in chemical engineering at UTM in 2004. Okay, later while I was working, I did part-time lah, Master Science Process Integration at UTP and graduated in 2015. Is apa tu, dia training program dengan UMIS, University of Manchester. Okay, so now I'm at Petronas Gas Berhad. So with 17 years of working experience. Sebelum tu saya nak tanya, dia nampak macam full slide ke ataupun nampak macam ada benda lain kat tepi? Nampak full slide tak?
So far nampak full slide. Okay.
Right. Okay, so this is my journey at PGB. Okay, I started my career in 2004 as plant engineer at GPPB. Gas Processing Plant Complex B Operations Department until 2009. So 5 years lah I was at plant. So 2009 I moved to Process Safety Engineer at Technical Services Department until 2010, about 1 year macam tu. And since 2010 I did Process Engineering at Technical Services Department sampai sekarang. All this career journey ni semua kat PGB. So far I have no experience at other Petronas punya subsidiaries lah. Okay. So we go straight to the topic, introduction to chemical engineering. So I draft this slide. Kita start dengan what, where and which. By the way, I will combine PM dengan BI. Okay, kalau ada any question, just stop me. So we go first to the what. Yang ni yang interesting. Okay, what is chemical engineering? Okay. So chemical engineering is not similar to chemist. Okay, by the way, I ambil chemical engineering after SPM sebab I suka chemistry. So I really love chemistry. So bila masa isi borang UPU tu, I pilih chemical engineering as my first choice. So it turns out that chemical engineering is not a chemist lah. It's not really a chemist. Tak sama. Memang berbeza. So ramai orang salah faham because mungkin juga sebab pendedahan kita kat Malaysia ni, kita tak expose sangat student kepada chemical engineering punya information. So kalau suka contoh, kalau suka biologi jadi doktor, kalau suka certain subjek, okay jadi ni. Kalau suka chemistry, mesti orang akan cakap chemical engineering, but it's wrong. It's adalah CP chemist punya subjek, tapi tak banyak. Okay. So chemical engineering is a branch of engineering that deals with chemical productions and manufacture of products through chemical process. These include designing equipment, systems, process for refining raw materials and for mixing, compounding and processing chemicals to make valuable product. In simple way, kita buat we turn things into a usable product. Contohnya, contoh at refinery, you have petroleum product kan, yang raw punya, belum diproses. So the chemical engineer ni is the one who design the process. Okay, lepas masuk ke equipment ni, masuk ke next equipment and masuk apa lagi treatment yang perlu for that hydrocarbon tu. Okay. So main subject dia adalah physics, mass and energy balance and thermodynamics. Chemistry ada, tapi tak detail lah, not as detail as chemist. Okay, but as compared to other engineering, chemical engineering ni punya exposure pada chemistry subject tu lagi banyak lah as compared to like mechanical, as compared to instrument, electrical. Okay, so saya tunjuk sikit dia punya tu. Okay, macam ni lah dia punya proses dia. So kalau process engineer, this is simple one. Macam ni is acid gas removal unit. Dia ada equipment, then dia ada valve, ada pump. So dia design, okay lepas pergi proses ni, what is the next process? So dia kena tahu what is the temperature, what is the pressure of that process. Okay, so it can be as simple as this and complex as this. This is complex. This is refinery processes. Dia ada banyak, ada yang patah balik, it could be very complex lah. Okay, so faham chemical engineering is not the same as chemist, tak sama. Okay, so where to study chemical engineering ni? So kalau kita tengok dekat local universities, UTM ada offer, UKM, UM, USM and UITM. Kalau private universities, UTP ada offer chemical engineering and UniKL. Ada banyak lagi U, tapi I just list two. So kalau at University College, Tati UC, dekat Terengganu, Kemaman, dia ada offer chemical engineering. Kalau if you prefer to study overseas, I just list down only a few lah. Like Monash University at Australia, University New South Wales, Australia juga. Kalau kat UK, Manchester, you can do a market survey lah dekat through internet. I just pick only a few kat sini. Okay, and next dekat US, the University of Madison, Wisconsin, the Purdue University. A lot of universities offering this chemical engineering lah, but you need to do some research. Whether kalau universiti tu apa yang dia strong, apa tu course yang dia offer. Contoh For example, I bagi example, macam contoh, I bagi yang local university. USM ni terkenal dengan medik, dengan UM pun sama medik, macam tu. So ada serta-serta dia very established in chemical engineering, and you need to do some study lah kalau if you are interested to do chemical engineering ni. Okay. So nak pergi industri mana? Tadi kita pergi universiti, sekarang ni kita katakanlah dah graduated nanti, nak pergi universiti mana? Ada banyak industri. Semua ni industri ya, excluding government. For info, untuk government, chemical engineering ni tak banyak sangat ruang lah untuk government, sebab dia macam involve industri, lebih kepada industri. So yang mana yang pergi join government tu, dia mostly akan pergi ke Jabatan Alam Sekitar lah, mostly. Okay, so kalau industry, you can choose biomedicine, food processing, electronics, materials or manufacturing, energy, and oil and gas. Okay, so ni ada some notes lah sikit. Okay, apa function chemical engineer at each. So this one is to oil and gas. This one for biomedicine. Food processing, dia akan improve food process technique. Okay, kalau materials, dia akan construct synthetic fibers. And kalau bahagian energy, dia boleh develop solutions for environmental problems such as pollution control. Kalau energy ni, for example, TMB lah. TMB kan dia ada guna gas turbine ataupun dia guna arang batu. So chemical engineer will design for the pollution control and remediation. Okay. So next is salary expectation. I think kalau dengar tajuk ni ramai yang excited. Okay, sebab baru fresh grad, baru keluar daripada universiti, so you mesti nak expected some salary lah. Okay, I did some market survey for chemical engineer. Okay, generally in Malaysia, engineer salary ni is not really competitive lah in general. Okay, so chemical engineer salary ni varies based on market demand, okay, type of industry, contoh yang industri tadi yang I explain, and your working experience and level or position in a company, and your skills ataupun specialty. Okay, this is market trends survey 2021. Kalau you tengok process engineer ni 66,000 per year. I think this one kalau you convert to month, about 5,500 per month. Ni this is not a fresh grad punya gaji lah. Sebab for example at Petronas, a fresh grad entry level is 4,000 per month. So the varies based on industry. Kalau ada industry will be different. Okay, so kalau if you compare, electrical engineer earn more than process engineer. I think this one applicable for experienced engineer. Mungkin about 5 to 10 years punya experience lah. Okay, tapi bila if you go higher up, okay, look at this, process engineering manager lagi tinggi daripada engineering manager biasa, daripada product stewardship manager, daripada senior engineer. So dia ada kenaikan yang agak tinggi lah juga dekat sini. Okay, this is based on market survey. Right? Okay. So, chemical engineering in oil and gas industry, I go deeper. Okay, for a person, this is job scope selection lah. Okay, you can, if you are a chemical engineer graduate, you can be a plant engineer, you can be a process safety engineer, you can be a process design, HSC and production planning. So for plant engineer, I divided into 3. You can be a shift engineer, working on shift, 12-hour or 8-hour shift, depends. plant technologies, this is office hour, and technical services ni pun office hour, but the job scope is different lah. Okay, for HSC, you can be environmental engineer, you can become a safety and health officer, and you can also become industrial hygiene. Okay, for info, in industry, health, safety and health officer ni memang dia in demand lah. Dan gaji dia normally higher than anyone else lah. But for Petronas, dia sama je. Maksudnya dia based on years of experience, based on dia tak ada tinggi daripada orang. But at other industry, safety and health officer ni memang dapat dia punya gaji dia lagi tinggi lah daripada typical engineer yang lain. Okay. Right. So as plant engineer, myself I started my career as a plant engineer. So I bagi the job scope into 4. Okay. First is in terms of plant monitoring and analysis. You will do daily plant monitoring. You tengok trend of the plant and you do troubleshooting. Kalau plant shutdown, you will do equipment inspection and absorbent loading and unloading. And process improvement, you will do involved in process improvement study. And for capital project support is macam we call it CapEx lah. Okay, plant engineer will provide input to process design team and involved in safety study. Okay, by the way, plant engineer ni dia banyak duduk kat plant. Okay, kalau you are not interested untuk kerja dekat plant, you can become a process design engineer. Process design ni dia banyak buat kerja dekat desktop lah. Okay, dia buat design sahaja. So kalau yang ni plant engineer process safety ni pun dia banyak dekat site lah. Okay, HSC pun dekat site. Production planning ni pun banyak dekat site. Tapi not as much as HSC process safety and plant engineer. Okay, your selection tu depends on which preference you punya yourself tu, you minat kat mana. Like myself, I suka something very challenging. So that's why I lagi suka buat plant engineer lah. Okay. So I share my photo, some of my photo during shutdown. Okay, this is myself doing the furnace inspection. So this is furnace tube lah. Okay, furnace ni kita ada firing. Dekat bawah ni ada burner. So this tube is 11.4 meter height. Memang tinggi lah. So bila kita shutdown je kita boleh masuk ke dalam equipment ni. Kalau kita running tak boleh nampak lah this equipment kat dalam. Okay. So this one is cold box. Cold box kalau kita direct translation is peti sejuk lah. Okay, because gas processing involving process at temperature minus 97 degrees Celsius. So kita nak achieve the chilling down tu guna cold box ni lah. So yang putih-putih ni is perlite, dia punya insulation. This is myself doing the cold box. So kita kena pakai macam PPE yang macam kaki tangan hospital pakai sekarang ni lah because of COVID tu. Okay, kita pakai this, tie bag, ada glove, respiratory, kita kena pakai this cartridge, and helmet ni is a must lah dengan safety glass. Okay, and memang panas lah pakai this. So imagine the work of KKM punya staff masa nak treat patient during COVID. So sama je, memang panas pakai this. Memang kita once kita buka je terus memang berpeluh-peluh keluar habis. Right? So this is at certain height, I can't remember what's the height of this column. Tapi tinggi lah ni dekat atas, malam nak inspect. So this is my friend sebenarnya, tapi the same column lah. So kita kena pass through this, we call this manhole untuk inspection of the column. Memang sempit je. Kalau you have to be fit lah, basically untuk inspect this column sebab dia sempit je, right? Okay. So this is my photo during shutdown. So basically engineering ni is a man's work. Kita kerja, majority of the workers ni banyak lelaki lah. So kalau if you are a woman, mungkin adalah seorang dua terselit. And nampak the trend pun sekarang ni more and more ladies joining the engineering punya ni lah. Tapi we need to always have some mindset lah. This is a men's world. So memang kita akan dikelilingi oleh lelaki lah ramai. So this is myself dengan team shutdown. Okay. And this is pipe lifting. Okay, activity. Ni column tu yang 50 meter height. Kita ada lifting pipe. And this is myself lah. Kena pulas wah sikit. Okay. If you are interested with this kind of a job, so you can become a plant engineer lah. So before that, you need to choose chemical engineering during your studies. Okay. So this is last year photo. Myself dengan my team doing some chemical cleaning work. And ni pun sama jugalah. Diorang tengah tunggu the results for the dew point analysis. Okay. So this one is advice to new engineers. The first one is be humble, because once you enter the market, the job, you will be surrounded with many people with different background. Maksudnya if you are at universities, semua classmate you at your age sama semua kan. Okay, if let's say you are 23, everybody in the class is 23 plus minus 1 year 2 year lah. Okay, tapi once you enter the job, there will be some people yang dah umur 50, for example, especially technician. Ada yang dah umur 40, ada yang dah umur 30, and you have to be humble with them. When you mix around with other staff, you have to be humble. And second one, you need to be passionate about what you are doing. If you are passionate about, contoh, you suka melukis and you want to become an architect, so you have to be passionate about what you are doing. If you like macam myself, you suka some adventure, you suka chemical engineering, you have to passionate about what you're doing. Okay. And third one is continuous learning. So you must learn and unlearn. It's not that habis je universiti tu, habis, you don't have to learn. Once you masuk kerja, you have to start new, because everything that you learn from the universities tu is a foundation for you sebenarnya. And ada orang cakap, okay, ada certain people lah, dia cakap, okay, apa yang kita belajar dekat universiti tu tak pakai pun masa kerja. I don't agree with that statement sebab it depends on which field you choose. Kalau you pilih contoh chemical engineering and tiba-tiba you kerja as insurance, definitely you will not use your chemical engineering punya knowledge. Tapi kalau you in chemical engineering and you become the chemical engineer, definitely you will use all the knowledge during the university tu masa you kerja. So it depends. So jangan terpengaruh lah kalau orang cakap tak pakai pun the knowledge masa yang kita belajar all these 4 years at university, tak pakai pun masa kerja. Don't. It depends. It depends on your scenario. If you choose a field that is related to your study background, memang you akan pakai benda tu. So okay. So next one is agile and resilient. So sekarang ni kita at 4th punya industrial revolution. So market is agile sekarang ni. Macam anytime je the situation can change. So you have to be prepared for that change, and you have to be resilient. You have to have something special about you that makes your future employer tu rasa macam okay, it's worth it to hire these people. Okay. So next one is digital savvy. So sekarang ni memang digital banyak pakai lah as compared to my time 20 years ago. Tapi digital ni doesn't mean that digital like macam TikTok, macam you punya application tu. Digital here means use of artificial intelligence. Okay. I think you're familiar with artificial intelligence. Market sekarang ni memang banyak guna. Even for example macam simulation, semua tu ada some digital lah dalam tu. Okay. So far tak ada question ya?
Saya rasa ada satu question yang related dengan slide sebelum ni. Dia tanya, hi Miss, as a chemical engineering student, what skills should I invest during my student years?
What skills?
I should invest during my student years.
Okay, skills ah. Okay, dia ada kat sini jawapan dia. You have to invest some in digital. Kalau you ada some background on digital, will be added advantage. And also not here is communications. You have to be you kena masa interview tu is very important lah, your communication skills tu, right? Probably you don't need to invest into a classroom for communication skills, tapi probably you need to expose yourself with macam a club, persatuan, so that you are familiar with communication skills. It doesn't mean that you have to go to a classroom lah. For digital ni, probably you need to enroll into a classroom lah, digital. In universities ada offer artificial intelligence. Like myself, chemical engineering, masa last year tu kita akan the fourth year masa the fourth year tu kita akan start ambil option punya subject. So one of it ada yang offer, lecturer yang offer artificial intelligence lah. Okay, you can try to enroll to that. But depend benda ni like myself, I tak ambil lah artificial intelligence sebab I rasa subjek tu susah. I tak boleh nak imagine. But ada setengah orang dia suka, dia rasa dia comfortable with the digital. Digital ni kalau yang artificial intelligence tu dia banyak kepada programming macam tu. So kalau you have the opportunity, you can try to enroll into that class. So those are the skills that can enrich you lah for your future. Okay.
Alright.
So next one, related professional bodies. So as an engineer, you must register with the Board of Engineers mentioned. Tak kisahlah you want to pursue for IR ke, you don't want to pursue for IR, but there is a regulation at Engineers Registration Act. So dia mewajibkan engineers untuk register with the Board of Engineers mentioned. So once you enroll into your job tu, so start register yourself. Okay, sebab if you interested to pursue for professional engineer, dia akan start kira daripada the day you registered with the Board of Engineers. Once you register, you have to pay some amount lah, fees, and then dia akan bagi surat lah, okay, you have been registered, blah 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 blah. If let's say you have been working for 5 years tapi you tak register lagi, tiba-tiba on the 6 years tu you rasa you want to register, and then you want to pursue professional engineer punya then dia akan start kira from the day of your registration. So from year 1 to year 5 tu rugi lah. it's not counted. Okay, so it's very important because this one is under Engineers Registration Act, ada dalam akta, tapi tak ramai orang tahu dan tak ramai orang praktis. Once you enroll into your job, on board je, register terus for this. Okay, so next is we have Institution of Engineers. This one general lah, maksudnya semua engineer semua ada kat sini lah. So for chemical engineer dia ada branch dia dekat sini, IEM ni. Dia ada mechanical, dia ada instrument engineers, ada civil. So chemical pun ada dekat Institution of Engineers, sub kepada kat sini. If you would like to pursue professional engineer, ada title IR tu, you can go through this IEM lah, Institution of Engineers. So dia akan buat like classes, dia akan bagi macam talks, and so on lah. Dia akan guide you to become a professional engineer. But still you have to register with the Board of Engineers Malaysia. Okay. And the last one is Chemical Engineers Association. Kita ada IChemE, we call it IChemE. This one specific for chemical engineer. And some universities ada IChemE, dia ada buka same goes to IEM. Certain universities ada IEM, university certain dia macam club lah. So you can also expose yourself joining that club. Okay, for Chemical Engineers Association ni dia ada dekat Malaysia and also international. So yang this one you can join Malaysia lah. But if you are interested to join international punya pun boleh. And for info, this Chemical Engineers Association ni pun dia boleh there is certain requirement qualification yang required untuk you pursue as professional engineer. This one kalau you pursue professional engineer memang specific for chemical engineer sahaja through this IChemE. Okay. Ada soalan for this slide? Tak ada.
So far ada beberapa soalan, tapi yang saya ambil yang closely related daripada Haikal Rofi. Apakah cabaran fresh grad engineers masa musim COVID dan masa hadapan? Dan saya gabung sekali dengan soalan daripada Stefano Constantini. Chemicals engineering engineers tied by contract with the company.
Okay. Go to the first question lah. Cabaran chemical engineer.
Betul. Semasa musim COVID dan masa hadapan. Fresh grad, sebagai fresh grad.
Okay. In general lah, I think this one applicable to all engineers jugalah. So masa COVID ni jobs are slowing down. So employment pun sama. So same goes to your bila job is slowing down, that means cabaran dia is that you cannot expect the salary to be as per this. Okay, especially when you are new, you cannot demand lah. Maksudnya when I say certain level of entry, this typically the salary offered to you, it can be no more, it can be lower than that. Okay, itu cabaran dia lah. Sebab job is limited, banyak company yang not making profit, yang rugi pun banyak. So it's about supply and demand lah. Okay, that's cabaran as engineer in the musim COVID dan masa hadapan. And also I nampak the world is changing. Okay, another cabaran is we are moving towards renewable energy. Okay, so kalau dulu if you are in oil and gas, orang akan cakap, wah best lah, gaji mahal, everything semua kan. Tapi now is no more. Sebab oil and gas pun dah start, the oil price dah start drop sekarang ni, about $60 per barrel. Kalau you biasa baca Petronas punya annual report pun, like last year, dia punya keuntungan pun dah banyak drop, banyak more than 50%. Even ada certain quarter rugi pun. Okay, that's the challenges dia. So kalau if you're now people moving towards renewable energy. So if you're kalau you nak pursue, you have to find what is the market demand at that time lah. So probably oil and gas ni pun dah start slowing down. Mungkin other industry will take up, okay, this industry. Maybe you can start focus on the energy. That's the challenges now. So, but the challenges you can also turn it into opportunity. So, oil and gas is slowing down. So you can go into energy. Food processing is always good. Maksudnya demand is always there because we need to eat. Kita kena makan. So the demand for food too is always there. Okay. Electronic pun slowing down. Before COVID pun dia dah start slowing down. Biomedicine sekarang ni tengah up lah, of course, dengan musim COVID tu. Okay. So those are the things that you need to consider. Typically masa 4th year tu you start choosing your optional subject. Masa tu you have to carefully choose your subject lah supaya you can tailor to the industry, which industry. But one thing I can tell you, oil and gas ni is slowing down currently. Okay. So those are challenges. What's the second question?
The second question dia tanya, are chemical engineers tied by contract with the company?
Okay, it depends. It depends on your status lah, employment status. If your employment status is permanent staff, so you're tied to the company lah. Is that apa yang soalan tu ke ataupun dia masukkan benda lain?
Saya rasa macam tu lah kot soalan dia. Is it the job itself tu usually dia come with a contract ke macam mana? I think that is the question.
Okay. Certain company dia akan hire on contract basis. For example, macam consultant. Okay, okay, kalau consultant, process design, mostly consultant lah. Consultant, dia akan hire dia punya staff, some of it permanent staff, some as contract staff. So maknanya if they have a lot of project, masa tu dia dapat banyak project, dia permanent staff dia tak cukup tangan untuk buat kerja and dia start to hire contract staff lah. So but as contract staff ni your term tu very limited lah, maksudnya okay as per your contract 1 year or 2 years and itulah limited lah. Kalau permanent staff you don't have that term tu. Okay, does it answer the question? Siapa yang tanya tu?
Okay. I think so, insyaAllah.
Menjawab tak? I takut dia masukkan benda lain. Maksudnya dari segi different punya angle lah. Okay. So next. Okay, thank you. Itu sahaja. I bagi very brief punya tu. Okay, but I would like to stress, please, if you would like to go to engineering, not only chemical engineering, any field of engineering, once you got the job, please register with the Board of Engineers and the fees is only 50 ringgit. Murah je. And you don't have annual fees. For IEM membership dengan iChemie membership, dia ada annual fees. Yang ni lain. Yang ni once off. Okay.
Kita ada beberapa soalan lagi daripada audience. Saya ambil dulu soalan daripada Oli. Applied chemistry sama ke dengan chemical engineering?
Dia dah lepas first slide tu kot. Okay, by the way, I pun ceritalah my experience lah. I ambil chemical engineering ni sebab I suka chemistry. So it turns out that chemical engineering is not the same as chemistry lah. Okay. So please tell your friends, share this information. Ramai from my batch and after my batch pun ramai yang they call it fall into the trap. They like chemistry during form 4, form 5, and then they when they enroll into university, they take chemical engineering. It's not the same. It's not the same. Okay, I hope that answer your question.
Alright. And then ada soalan daripada Haikal Rofi. Dia tanya, apakah kelebihan chemical engineering compared to other engineering courses?
Interesting. Nak jawab pun susah. Okay. Chemical engineering ni sebenarnya if you go through the survey, sebenarnya chemical engineering ni engineering field yang paling susah. Okay? Yang paling susah. Sebab you cannot imagine pun benda ni masa you belajar dekat universiti. Even myself, masa I belajar dekat universiti, apa benda lah equipment ni, apa semua ni, pump ni, valve ni semua, you cannot imagine at all. You belajar apa benda, like kalau chemical engineer, mechanical engineer, you learn materials, benda tu you nampak tau, materials, metal. Okay, kalau macam ni, you tak nampak ni. Even kalau I tunjuk sekarang, you nampak tak? What is this all about ni? Tahu tak apa dia? You don't know. Even myself, masa I belajar pun, I tak nampak ni apa benda lah ni, semua ni. So, okay, that makes chemical engineer very special lah. So, kita belajar something yang kita tak nampak. And subject mass and energy balance ni ramai gila yang akan fail nanti masa universiti. Sebab you don't really see what you are learning. Like macam computer engineer. Computer engineer dia macam more of the hardware. You can feel it, you can touch the computer, you can feel the hard disk semua. So but the chemical engineer you cannot see it. You belajar you tak nampak apa benda ni, semua benda ni. But good thing about chemical engineer, normally dekat university, when you enroll into university, dia akan select the top student, cream of the cream, into chemical engineers. Okay. Di mana-mana universiti pun sama. Okay. Like myself from UTM, top students semua dia akan hantar to chemical engineering faculty dulu. Lepas tu baru faculty engineering lain. So nampak tak, you are very special. That means sebab dia susah. Memang susah. There is a survey, chemical engineers ni nombor 2 susah. Atas sekali I can't remember, mungkin architect kot. Tapi second one is chemical engineering. In terms of engineering, semua below daripada chemical engineers lah. So chemical engineer ni susah. Okay, that's so special about chemical engineer lah. But if you like something that is very challenging, like what I experienced, something macam ni, why not? If you are interested, it's not that semua orang akan, it's not that too difficult that nobody can reach that level. Dia, if you are interested, susah macam mana pun, you will go through it. Okay? Okay?
Right.
That answer the question.
Right, thank you. Ada next question pula daripada 2478. Kalau macam industri offshore dekat Kertih, yang itu termasuk dalam apa? Is it oil and gas? Mungkin dia nak tanya, dia nak tahu dekat offshore di Kertih tu ada bidang apa? Mungkin dari segi plant, process safety semua tu.
Okay, like myself, I dekat bukan offshore, I onshore. Onshore ni dekat atas darat lah. I tak pergi dekat offshore. So kalau dekat offshore, dia still sama juga. Maksudnya dia boleh can become plant engineer, process engineer, process design still dekat desktop, okay, ataupun HSC. So kalau dekat offshore tu, chemical engineer still dia banyak macam mana? Dia banyak cabang sikit lah. Dia boleh pergi, kalau drilling tu dia ada macam certain petroleum engineers yang tu memang very specific. memang totally different from chemical engineer. Then dia ada process engineer. Process engineer still dealing dengan proses. Tadi. Okay, proses yang macam ni tapi dekat offshore lah. Okay. And kalau nak pergi offshore, dia kena ada satu training yang dia kena special sikit lah. Dia kena ada nama dia, I can't remember nama dia, tapi untuk macam survival lah dekat tu sebab dia dekat laut. So dia macam ada special training before you are allowed to go to pergi ke platform tu.
BOSET kot, BOSET.
Yeah, BOSET. You have to take that BOSET punya ni lah. That is part of the requirement. You kena training tu kena masuk dalam air, then ada helikopter, then dia akan terbalikkan that helikopter tu dalam air. So you have to find way to go out from that helicopter. Dia ada certain masa dia. Kalau you jenis yang takut air, macam myself, I takut air, I pernah lemas. So memang very challenging lah untuk pass that test tu. Okay, itu je lah bezanya. But still more or less you'll be doing the same thing lah. Cuma equipment kat sana sangat rapat-rapat. And tak ramai lah at one platform. Ada certain crew je. Most of the crew tu dia akan ada support engineering support tu akan ada kat darat lah. So at one time kalau before COVID ni 2 weeks dekat platform, 2 weeks dekat darat, 2 weeks kat platform, 2 weeks kat darat. Dia punya job routine dia. Okay, I can answer on the platform or I guess at the offshore.
Okay, ada soalan seterusnya daripada Nafis. Can other engineers like mechanical engineers work as plant engineer?
Can, but susah sikit. Sebab dia punya appreciation of process tu, I've seen people from other background lah, mechanical engineer, doing the process engineer lah, plant engineer. Tapi dia punya, when they do the job tu, we can tell lah the difference between a chemical engineer and the mechanical engineer. Sebab mechanical ni dia more of the equipment punya ni. So dia belajar pasal metals, apa integrity, strength dia, apa semua-semua. But we as process engineer, we learn about the process. Kita appreciate the process more than the mechanical. It can be done, mechanical doing the process, but the appreciation tu berbeza. Okay, boleh lah. Dia ada overlap sikit because mechanical engineer pun ada belajar di thermodynamics. I think electrical engineer pun ada, tapi electrical cannot do process sebab dia totally different electrical. But for mechanical, dia ada overlap sikit dengan chemical engineering. Okay, so I hope that answer your question. Ada lagi?
Ada soalan daripada Abdul Irsyad. Susah tak thermodynamics?
Oh. Susah nak jawab soalan ni. It's very subjective. Tapi okay, I tell you what lah. Thermodynamics ni antara subjek yang ramai fail juga lah for the chemical engineering and also mechanical. Ramai yang, sebab thermodynamics ni is something that subjek yang you tak boleh imagine benda tu. Dia sama dengan mass and energy balance ni. Masa second year I took this mass and energy balance, and for the first time my pointer dropped to 2.9 kot. Before this always 3 lebih, tiba-tiba ambil subjek ni terus drop. And same goes to this thermodynamic. Thermodynamic ni very challenging sebab you cannot imagine how the theory tu. Contoh dia dia ada law of thermodynamics, first law of thermodynamics, second law of thermodynamics. You nak imagine contoh first law of thermodynamics, dia cakap okay, the energy cannot be transferred nor created. So macam mana you nak imagine energy cannot be transferred nor created. It can change the form from one form to another. Susah kan? That's the thermodynamics. Susah sikit lah. I personally also find that this subject ni susah sikit. Okay, but you can pass. Ramai orang dah buat sebelum ni pun pass. Don't worry. It's not that difficult. Like macam dia tahap dia kalau at max masa dekat SPM tu dia rendah sikit lah daripada at max. Maksudnya kalau at max tu semua orang susah nak score, dia bawah sikit. Di bawah sikit. Tapi almost sama level macam at max tu. Tahap kesusahan dia. Okay?
Alright.
Ada soalan?
Ada one more tadi from Iqbal Reza. Dia tanya, will we be able to raise to a higher role over the years through merits? Mungkin dia nak tahu sama ada raise to a higher role ni based on merits atau based on experience or macam mana dalam bidang yang Puan tengah bekerja sekarang.
Okay, I think now kalau if you masuk dalam swasta, macam Petronas pun is considered swasta. Dia if you want to go higher, it's based on merits. No more seniority. Okay, if you are good, you go up fast. Okay, I think even government pun sekarang ni dah start going to that merits. No more seniority. I hope that answer very pendek je lah sebab ask about how you go up kan.
Betul.
Self, I want to become my profession tu technical professional. I have to pass assessment lah for my job. Okay, kalau if you want to, okay, if you're in technical engineering kan, you have two part lah. Dia sama macam doktor lah. Doktor you have to pass, satu specialist, satu doktor yang pergi ke management. Okay, for engineering pun sama. You want to go to specialist atau you want to go to management. So like myself, I go to specialist. So to go to that specialist, you have to pass a few assessment. Okay, kalau if you pass assessment, then you will be promoted to that position. So same goes to the management. Dia tak ada assessment, tapi dia based on merits lah. So if kalau you kerja, let's say you are permanent staff, you tak ada, in terms of timeline, you are not bounded. Tapi from year to year, you have your KPI, key performance indicator that you have to fill in. And then your merits will come based on that KPI tu lah. How you have achieved your KPI tu. Okay?
Understand? And ada juga beberapa soalan daripada Facebook. Hakimi Roslan bertanya, does final CGPA when graduating affect job opportunity and starting salary?
I would say no. You don't worry if your CGPA, sebab when you go for an interview, okay, memanglah for the first screen tu dia akan tengok on the pointer, okay, for the first cut. So but once you are there, they call you for the interview, dia akan tengok your communication skills sebenarnya, how well you communicate, and if you have certain skills that is special than anyone else, that would add value to that. Your degree tu is like, I'm not saying that 2-pointer is good. I'm saying that your degree tu is just a pass untuk pergi ticket to go to enter the job. Okay. Some people and during the interview tu your skills memang very important. Ada certain job dia tak dia ada banyak lagi kriteria yang ditengok lah other than pointer. Like myself pun, I have failed several interviews, job interviews, sebab you have to understand the interviewers tu dia akan interview you based on the job requirement. If let's say the job is sales engineer ni dia perlukan skills, communication skills, and you need to have a transport. Kalau you tak ada tu mungkin you punya tu rendah sikit lah, you punya score. So my answer is not necessary on the pointer. You don't worry. Kalau if you are like 2.9, you want to go against 3.3, it doesn't really matter at that point of time. It's your skills that matters during the interview. How you perform during the interview section is matters. For first cut, yes. For first cut, mungkin ada certain company tak prefer people with 2.5 and below, but ada certain company still accept. So it's very subjective lah on that matters. Okay.
Right. I think kita ambil lagi 2 soalan terakhir. Second last from Ahmad Furkani bin Cik Rahim. Is MUD engineer related to chemical engineering?
Sorry, is MUD?
Is MUD engineer, MUD engineer.
Oh,
So,
MUD. Lebih banyak dia tengok from ni ke apa tu? Deepwater Horizon juga.
Mungkin juga.
Okay, MUD engineer ni, if I'm not mistaken, sebab dia more to the offshore. Offshore ni I tak familiar sangat lah. I think MUD engineer ni lain sikit daripada chemical engineer. Sebab kalau untuk offshore, dia memang dia specialty dia lain sikit. Contohnya kalau macam dia ada geoscience, dia ada petroleum engineer, dia ada a few engineering field yang lain sikit daripada chemical engineering. Okay?
Right. Harapnya menjawab soalan.
I hope so lah. I cannot have much on the offshore sebab myself pun banyak dekat onshore. Okay?
Okay, saya rasa last question for the day. Kita pun dah pukul 11 nak ending the session. So from Puan Masriani sendiri, apa kata-kata terakhir atau kata-kata semangat for student daripada UTP dan juga MRSM Taiping yang akan continue lagi studying dalam bidang engineering ni, apa semangat yang boleh diberi kepada diorang to continue further in engineering?
Okay, I pun tak tahu nak cakap apa. Engineering ni is challenging punya field. If you're interested with that kind of job, please enroll yourself in engineering. Dia except for design engineers lah. Design engineer will always sit at the workstation and with the laptop lah. Kalau yang lain engineering, contohnya civil, mechanical, yang lain dia banyak dekat site lah for early years, at least for early years of your career. Bila as you go become senior, you will be lesser lah berada dekat site tu. Tapi if you are really passionate about you like challenges, you suka outdoor, please you can enroll yourself into engineering. Okay? So and engineering ni pun ada banyak, and it is important that I would like to stress don't fall into the trap that I fell. Maksudnya masa I pilih chemical engineering dulu sebab I suka chemistry. So now you know what is chemical engineering, and ask yourself, are you interested to become a process engineer, or you are interested to do something else? So kalau if you are interested with the chemistry, don't pick chemical engineering. Please pick chemistry. Ada different courses at the university. Okay, that's my advice. Okay,
Right.
that is sufficient lah.
Okay, thank you so much for Mas Rani. One last thing, sekiranya macam ada audience from tonight yang nak tanya privately to Puan Masriani any questions, ada any platform to contact Puan Masriani?
Oh, okay. Kalau dekat LinkedIn tu I jarang masuk. Actually memang I tak update pun my profile dekat situ. You can always email to me masriani_m@petronas.com. I hope boleh jot down tak?
masriani_m@petronas.com. Okay. Alright, saya dah hantar kepada chat section. So kalau ada apa-apa yang nak ditanya directly kepada Puan Masriani, boleh email ke email address tersebut. Right, I think that's all for tonight. Thank you so much Puan Masriani for spending your time sharing with us precious experience and exposure in the field of chemical engineering. Many thanks as well to our audience from Marathon Taiping, from UTP, from anywhere you are, who have been watching and joining in our talk for tonight. Kita ada roughly around 320 participants for tonight. One of the highest participants lah. Thank you so much for everyone yang join malam ni. So if you know someone who have enjoyed this talk but wasn't able to join us tonight, you guys can share the word with them that they can just search for our YouTube channel, Ansara Taiping, ANSARA_TEPEN in YouTube, to see the recording of this session. And if you look forward to learning from more talks like this, you can also view it in our channel. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button. And don't forget to give a thumbs up on our video. And also don't miss our next session on mechanical engineering, which will also be shared by our experienced Ansara Taiping on 21st May, 9 PM via Zoom and FB Live as well. So again, we will then have this platform if not for our strategic partners. Thanks again to Unit Perkhidmatan Bimbingan dan Counselling MRSM Taiping, Center for Foundation Studies, University Technology Petronas, TNF Energy Sdn Bhd, Amans Media, and Outpost Taiping. So let us close this session tonight with reciting Tasbih Kifarah and Suratul Asr.
Thank you, Puan Masriani.
Thank you for your participation. I hope you enjoy.
Really enjoyed. Thank you, Mama Sally.
Okay, thank you. Bye.